Chapter 4. Breathe in and out. We will learn mechanism of breathing, our breath, hot and humid, effects of our blowing. Oxygen is needed by all living organisms. It is found in the air around us. Oxygen is needed for the breakdown of food. Breathing is the taking in and out of air. A normal individual breathes about 12 to 15 times in a minute. The rate of breathing becomes faster when we run or do some exercise. In such situations, we breathe about 50 to 60 times in a minute. When we breathe in air, our chest expands automatically. Mechanism of breathing. When the air is inhaled through our nose, it enters the windpipe and goes to the lungs. As we breathe in, the diaphragm flattens and contracts and moves down, thus making space for the lungs. The lungs fill with air and become bigger. When the air is exhaled, the diaphragm relaxes and moves up, thus pushing air out of the lungs through the nose. Carbon dioxide and water vapor are removed from the lungs with the air we breathe out. Thus, the function of the lungs is to put oxygen into the blood and remove the unwanted carbon dioxide and water vapor from it. The muscles of the chest and diaphragm help in breathing in and breathe out air. We should always breathe through the nose and not through our mouth, as the air that enters our lungs is not clean. It carries dust and germs into our lungs and we fall sick. The nose has small hair and a sticky fluid called mucus that traps dust particles which may enter the nose with the air we breathe in. Fact file. If a pair of lungs are spread flat, they would cover an area as big as a tennis court. Our breath, hot and humid. Stand in front of a mirror and see your image. Now, breathe out onto a mirror. It becomes foggy. It happens so because our breath is hot and contains water vapor. When these vapors come in contact with a cool mirror, they get condensed and appear as fog on the mirror. Fact file. The breathing rate of children is greater than adults. It is 44 times per minute for newborns and 20 to 40 times per minute for infants. Effects of our blowing. You have just read that our breath is hot and humid, but we can also produce cooling effect on some things by blowing on them. For example, if we blow on a burning candle, it stops burning. Do you know why? When we breathe out air, it is humid. It decreases the ignition temperature, hence it stops burning. Similarly, when a glass of hot milk is given to us, we blow air on it to cool it. The air from our mouth reduces the warmth because it is less hot than the milk. What happens when somebody blows with a pipe on the chula? Blowing air through mouth supplies oxygen to the fire and hence it burns more brightly. So it is evident that we can produce both hot and cold effects with our breath. Keyword: breathing, taking in and out of air. Expand, become or make larger. Diaphragm, the sheet of muscles below the lungs. Ignition temperature, temperature at which a substance starts burning. Points to recall. Oxygen is needed by all living organisms. A normal individual breathes about 12 to 15 times in a minute. Breathing in is caused by the expansion of our chest and breathing out is caused by the contraction of our chest. Our breath is hot and contains water vapor. We can also produce cooling effect on some things by blowing on them. We can produce both hot and cold effects with our breath.